Someone once said, "Without work, there is no need to dream, and without dreams, there is no need to work." There is much truth in this short insight. Being willing and able to visualize our dreams can guide our efforts so that we can accomplish great things. And yet, without hard work, it's safe to say that our dreams may be difficult, if not impossible, to realize. For example, it is one thing to have the dream of learning how to fly, and then sitting in a corner and flapping your arms up and down. It's another thing altogether to go out and earn the money to take flying lessons so you can obtain your pilot's license. At MyDriving4Life, we know that the education you receive now will help you to think big and work hard to achieve your dreams. Education is all about literacy, becoming literate in English and other languages, literate in language and concepts of science and mathematics, literate in the history of our nation and our world, to name a few. And yet, it is critical that you become literate in one additional language. It is the language of what it means to be a human being, of relationships, of how to live and work with others so that you can achieve your dreams and help others achieve theirs. It is the language of feelings and needs. We don't leave our feelings and needs in the closet when we go to work or school. We carry them with us into every interaction and relationship of our lives. This is what makes us human. Feelings are to human beings what gasoline and a GPS is to a car. Our feelings are the energy that fuels our actions. They also serve as our guidance system, pointing us in the right direction to meet our needs. This is just one of the many striking similarities between skillful driving and skillful living. In most classrooms, offices, and homes, feelings and needs are not given the importance they deserve. It doesn't feel good when our feelings or needs are ignored. When this happens, we often feel upset, angry, or sad. These feelings are indications that our needs have not been addressed or satisfied. Everything we do in the service of a need. That's what world-renowned communication expert Marshall Rosenberg teaches. He says the reason people act is to satisfy a need. Rosenberg focuses on this principle when he works in some of the most troubled areas of the world, such as Rwanda, Croatia, and the Middle East. By showing how to acknowledge other people's feelings and needs while staying connected to our own feelings and needs, he opens the way for people to resolve conflict peacefully. It's a bit like merging onto a highway without crashing into the other drivers. Everyone has legitimate needs. The most basic of these needs are survival, safety, belonging, self-esteem, and the need to realize our full potential. This was the primary discovery made by social psychologist Abraham Maslow in 1943. This is basic human technology. One of our most basic needs is safety, and when safety is not present, individuals will take matters into their own hands and create safety for themselves. This impacts our lives and relationships in a profound way. When people are focused on their own safety, it is hard to focus on anything else for very long. To reach your dreams, you will need to stretch, grow, and take smart risks along the way, something that is much harder to do if you feel the need to spend most of your time and energy just surviving and staying safe. For example, if we are worried about being bullied or physically attacked on the way to school, it will be hard to concentrate on our studies. If we're afraid that when we go home, our parents will be yelling at each other, which feels like an emotional attack, it will have the same effect. This discovery, coupled with recent advances in neurobiology, allows a profound and helpful insight to emerge. Needs are hardwired into our nervous system, beginning with the part of our brain that developed first, our reptilian brain. This primitive core is primarily designed for one purpose, to ensure our safety and survival. When in danger, our reptilian brain kicks into action and takes charge, reacting instinctively with a fight, flight, or freeze response. This instant reaction can save our lives when we're physically threatened. When this happens, our reptilian brain sends a message to the adrenal gland to give us a shot of adrenaline, to redirect our blood flow to large muscle groups so we can fight, flee, or freeze. Having only a finite amount of blood in our system, it has to come from someplace else, and it comes from our brain's higher reasoning center, the neocortex, which is designed to make conscious decisions. There are still situations in life that have elements of serious physical risk. In moments such as these, our fight, flight, and freeze instincts can help us to survive. But even in situations where our physical safety is not threatened, when our emotional and mental well-being is threatened, our reptilian brain still interprets these signals as if our physical existence is threatened. We respond to the threat with fear and anxiety, the modern-day equivalent of a hungry dinosaur or saber-toothed tiger chasing us. However, the dinosaur means us no disrespect. It's only trying to meet its own need for survival. This is equally true in our interactions with human beings. Disrespect is rarely, if ever, the motivation for a comment that we interpret as disrespect. They are simply trying to meet their own needs. We have all experienced this and the feelings it provokes within us. An idea that we have is ignored or ridiculed, and we feel angry. We make a comment only to have someone roll his or her eyes and appear bored, and we feel frustrated. We say something that matters to us, and someone across the room turns and whispers something to someone else, and they both laugh, and we feel disappointed. In each of these situations, we might feel angry, frustrated, or disappointed because we have a need for respect that is not being met. This signals disrespect, causing our reptilian brain to kick into overdrive. While this is how we are hardwired, this does not mean that our reactions are locked in. This is where the rubber meets the road. If we do not address our feelings and needs, we allow them to take charge of us. Instead, we can address our needs in a way that resolves conflict and restores respect. How do we create an atmosphere of respect and at the same time accomplish the task at hand? Is that even possible, much less practical? At MyDriving4Life, we say yes. How? Flow. Flow is not a trait that some people have and others don't. Flow is a skill that anyone can learn. It creates dynamic stability by addressing the feelings and needs of others, which leads to respect being restored. Flow is courageous curiosity. It means keeping our relationships real while keeping them safe. This enhances our relationships, and that naturally leads to better results. This is what we provide at MyDriving4Life. It is having the courage to state our own opinions, to self-define while staying open and curious about another person's ideas, even if we disagree with them and them with us. When in a state of flow, we are curious about the facts of a situation, about the other person and their ideas. This sends a signal to the person that we respect them. When respected, people feel safe, allowing them to access their best skills and ideas. This is a bit like merging into traffic, when we not only create safe space for ourselves, but for others as well. Merging requires that we do two things simultaneously. We must be clear about our intentions and signal those intentions to other drivers as we move into the flow of traffic. Remember, when merging, indecisive driving can be as dangerous as aggressive driving. But while we must be clear about what we intend to do, we must make room for others and allow them the same opportunity to drive safely in the flow of traffic. Practicing this skill in driving is critical to reaching our destination safely. Practicing this skill in living with other people is equally critical if we plan to reach our dreams. This is easy to see and understand if you think of what is required to play any team sport successfully. Whether it's soccer, basketball, football, or any sport, it's important that every player give it their all. If you don't, the entire team suffers. And yet, in giving it your all, it is equally important that you allow your teammates the same opportunity, as well as your opponents. The truth is, without your opponents, there wouldn't even be a game. Treat your opponents with the same respect and fairness that you would want for yourself, and any athletic contest will be fun for everyone involved, and each player will have the greatest opportunity to excel. And so here is what we hope you learned today. That when we find ourselves operating out of our best skills and our highest values, rather than out of our most basic instincts of self-preservation and self-protection, by paying attention to our feelings and needs and the feelings of others, we make an astonishing discovery. That we can create such an atmosphere of mutual respect that achieving our own dreams and helping others to achieve their dreams becomes as second nature as learning to drive a car safely and effectively, so that we can get to where we want to go, and so does everyone else. This is what MyDriving4Life is all about.